They called it paradise. A honeymoon tucked into a mist-shrouded gorge in Meghalaya. Their laughter echoed among the waterfalls as they planned forever. But within 72 hours, the world they built began to unravel. And in the deep shadows of that gorge, he was found dead. She was nowhere to be found. What unfolded next wasn't a tragic accident. It was a calculated murder years in the making. Before we continue, drop a comment telling us where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. Meet Sarah and Mark Thompson, 29 and 25, two young Americans who exchanged vows on May 11, 2025. Less than 2 weeks later, on May 20th, they touched down in India, eager for sun, waterfalls, and solitude. On May 22nd, they trekked down 3,000 steps to a hidden homestay beneath a living root bridge. Was this honeymoon their greatest adventure, or the final act of a deadly plan? Let's rewind just a bit to the newlyweds whose honeymoon was meant to be a fresh start. Mark Thompson, 35, a systems engineer from Charlotte, North Carolina, had just married the love of his life. Sarah Daniels, 26, a former nurse-turned-wellness blogger with a growing online presence. Together, they booked a luxury private villa tucked into the rice terraces of Ubud, Bali. On Instagram, their smiles were picture-perfect. But within 3 days, police were taping off the entrance to Villa number 14. Mark was found stabbed, face down in the plunge pool. Sarah had vanished without a trace. So what really happened that night? Why did a seemingly happy couple implode just days into their marriage? And the biggest question of all, was this her first time running? Or had Sarah Daniels left pain behind before? Let's look closer at their pasts, because to understand murder, we must first understand love. Mark Thompson, 35, was born and raised in San Diego. He built his life from scratch. A self-made man who served briefly in the military, then poured his ambition into a career as a systems engineer. A divorce left him cautious, but when he met Sarah Daniels, he believed he'd found redemption. Sarah, 26, grew up in small-town Mississippi. She dropped out of college and chased one failed business after another, from handmade candles to pop-up wellness seminars. Then she found her spotlight online, posting yoga routines and mindful wisdom. Their meeting was straight from a modern romance playbook. Sarah slid into Mark's Instagram DMs after a mutual friend tagged him in a wellness challenge. They messaged for weeks. He was drawn to her passion, she to his stability. Within 6 weeks, he flew to Mississippi to meet her. Within 3 months, proposal by sunset. They spoke of soulmates and shared purpose, spiritual connections sealing their whirlwind engagement. But not everyone was convinced. Mark's friends worried Sarah was chasing opportunity, not love. Sarah's college roommate sensed red flags she wouldn't name. Mark brushed off every whisper. He told himself he'd see their love through and believed he could save her from past mistakes. As they boarded the flight to Bali, they were in love. But beneath that perfect facade, questions were mounting. And soon, paradise would become their undoing. In early April 2024, Mark and Sarah Thompson checked into their villa in Seminyak, Bali, room 14. A secluded retreat framed by swaying palms and moonlit sea. Staff later recalled how the two arrived stone quiet, exchanges curt, and faces distant, a stark contrast to the honeymoon snapshots flooding Sarah's Instagram. That evening began like any other. A romantic dinner by candlelight on the terrace, wine glasses catching the last glow of sunset. But just hours later, the mood shattered. Neighbors reported mounting tension, shouting close by, the clash of glass breaking, then a single chilling scream that cut through the warm tropical air. At 2:14 a.m., security guards discovered Mark in the plunge pool area, stabbed 7 times, lifeless and surrounded by broken glass. Sarah Thompson was gone, nowhere to be found. No note, no explanation. Only unanswered questions in the flicker of crime scene tape. But when authorities reviewed the CCTV footage, what they saw changed everything. Now the pieces began to shift, and it's your turn to piece them together. Initial theories swirled. Was this a robbery gone wrong? A tragic murder-suicide pact warped by passion? Or a jealous rage ignited over something far darker? Police combed through the villa. What they found would rewrite the story. A hidden GoPro tucked behind a shelf in room 14 had captured more than intimate moments. It recorded a heated argument. Marcus insisted Sarah sign a prenuptial agreement that night. Her voice, tense and trembling, can be heard. "Why do you need this now?" His reply, "To protect what's ours." Then came a chilling old message recovered from Sarah's phone, from an ex-partner. "It's almost done, just wait." Who was it? What had they plotted together? Authorities dug deeper into Sarah's background and discovered her passport was traced to another identity, one that didn't match her birth name. Was there a forged alias behind this honeymoon mask? Before long, Interpol stepped in, following paper trails that crossed borders. Headlines exploded across outlets worldwide as the Thompson family in America released a statement. "We want answers. We want justice for Mark. So many leads, so many lies, and you're holding the map. What really unfolded in Bali, and who deserves our suspicion?" And just when it seemed the truth had surfaced, a new revelation pulled the ground out from beneath the case. Authorities investigating Sarah Thompson, whose real name was now in question, unearthed a chilling trail. Sarah had been married before, not once, but twice. In both instances, she vanished. No divorce filings, no contact. One of those men, Derek Price, a freelance photographer from Texas, was last seen in 2019. He's still missing. His family never found closure. The pattern was too calculated to ignore. But what connected her to Mark? Investigators finally found it. Just 6 weeks before the wedding, Mark had quietly updated his will, adding Sarah as his primary beneficiary. Should anything happen, she would inherit his retirement accounts, a condo in San Diego, and life insurance. Altogether, nearly $700,000. Then came the most gut-wrenching evidence. A video diary recovered from Mark's iCloud. In it, he speaks directly to the camera, clearly uneasy. "If something ever happens to me, tell my sister. Selena wasn't who she said she was." The name Selena was unfamiliar until digital forensics confirmed Sarah Daniels had used that name years prior on social media. With international arrest warrants active, Thai officials confirmed Sarah was found just outside Chiang Mai, living under yet another identity. She didn't resist. She smiled. In court weeks later, as cameras captured her first U.S. appearance post-extradition, she entered in a fitted gray suit, unbothered. When the charges were read aloud, she smirked. The courtroom gasped, but one question lingered, louder than the gavel. Was Sarah Daniels, or Selena, or whoever she truly was, done yet? As the trial unfolded, what seemed certain became tangled in shades of doubt. Sarah Daniels, known legally now by her former alias, Selena Moore, took the stand in her own defense. With calm composure, she delivered a story no one expected, that she had acted in self-defense. She claimed Mark Thompson had grown volatile during their honeymoon, allegedly triggered by her refusal to sign the prenuptial agreement. According to her, he snapped, threatening to leave her stranded in Bali with nothing. She described a violent altercation, a struggle over shattered glass, a moment she said was fueled by fear, not malice. But prosecutors introduced a new piece of evidence, a document discovered locked inside the villa's safe. It was the original prenup, signed, dated, by Sarah. There were no signs of a struggle consistent with her version. The knife wounds on Mark's body showed precise targeting, not desperation. Forensic testimony dismantled her narrative, and the jury saw through the performance. After 4 hours of deliberation, the verdict was returned. Guilty of second-degree murder. Selena Moore was sentenced to 30 years in U.S. federal prison, with no possibility of parole for at least 22. At sentencing, Mark's sister spoke, her voice trembling. He just wanted love. He found a nightmare instead. Outside the courthouse, cameras rolled as she clutched a photo of Mark in his army uniform. The man she called a gentle soul, a protector, a brother who believed in redemption. And as the gavel dropped for the last time, the world was left with a haunting question. How do we really know the people we marry? Can charm and beauty blind us to danger? Because for Mark Thompson, love wasn't the beginning of forever. It was the start of something far more terrifying. Was this premeditated murder? Or a relationship that spiraled out of control when secrets met desperation? Did Sarah Daniels, or Selena Moore as she was once known, always intend for Mark Thompson to be her next victim? Or did something break in Bali that night neither of them saw coming? Let us know in the comments, would you have seen the red flags in Selena's story? Do you think Mark's love blinded him? Or did she hide her true self too well? Before we go, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. Because if you think this case was shocking, wait until you hear what happened when a groom caught his bride cheating during their honeymoon. Live, on camera. That story is next.